Calling all warriors! Calling all warriors! How we doing, my friends? Welcome, good evening, warriors. Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well this evening. Hope you guys are conquesting yourself and things around you and continuing to battle on all the time. Great comments, guys, you guys are making. I'll try to catch up with some of these over the weekend. But I appreciate all the comments. You guys are succeeding, continuing to battle on. Thank you for the likes, the comments, donations. I appreciate that. I'm working on trying to do a live stream over the next few weeks. We'll see if we can try to get that done. And I can actually talk to some of you guys in person, which is wonderful. And I look forward to that as well. All right, so a couple shout outs here before we actually start. Let's go over some of these. Where's my list here? I'll kind of do this a little bit. World Star, thank you. JDS, thank you. Buffalo Maya, thank you. I don't look 60. That's great. I appreciate that. I go back to Kelders. I give him all the credit. And this is retention, obviously, is the sixth right. And we'll do some of those. I think I'll do a video on the exercises again as I get a little more time over the next couple of weeks. Daddy Resonance, thank you, my friend. Control energy is tough. It is. There's a lot of powerful energy you have here. Red Pill on Steroids. We talked about the Mantis. I think I did one on that. So thank you, my friend. MyStyKalMoon, thank you. Guido Perez, Cheng V, thank you. Justin Greene, Murjani. How does SR affect breaking up with a girl? I think certainly we'll talk about that one as an individual one, but certainly when it talks about breaking up, you have to go your own way, my friend. You got to get your goals together, ideas together. And once again, we'll talk about this a little differently. The best psychology for a woman is to ignore her. I hate to say that, but you basically have to be independent. Women will crave you, will go after you, not only because of your energy, but because you're focusing on other things besides the women. And this is the psychology of life. Women want a challenge. They want to be able to have someone that is not just focusing on them all the time. And though they like the attention, there's a fine balance between that. So keep going, AJ. Jefferson Garcia, thank you. Guida again. Geodu92, Villem, and Bob from South Africa. And it doesn't matter what you look like, my friend. Attraction is attraction, no matter what the person looks like. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, so at 2 minutes and 30 seconds here, let's talk about our topic, warriors. We're talking about, and Bob from South Africa as well gave us a topic along with MaRaMaRaStar, and I appreciate that. Why do women stare at you? Let's kind of talk about that a little bit and kind of focus on what we're talking about here. So again, as I just said with one of Bob's comments as well, and we talked about the breaking up with girlfriends and all this kind of stuff. Guys, and I've done a couple videos on women, and I know you guys always like me to go back to that and talk about that, so that's why we do it a lot. But here's the key. The key is being autonomous. And I mean that, what I mean by that is being independent. If you get to the point, and this is something, this is backwards in our society. We're taught as men growing up that we have to chase women around and they become the prize. Well, this sets up a bad situation because we know when it comes to women, women are the ones that want to have the children. They're going to want to mate. Not that males don't necessarily, but women want that. They want to have the children. They need to have the children to procreate, to move on. So males, they have to get a male. Now, certainly nowadays, they can do test tube stuff and all that other kind of stuff out there. But they need a male figure also to take care and provide and protect for their children. So this is something that in the back of the mind, you have to keep thinking about. There was somebody, and I don't know if it was my dad or someone that said this a long time ago, says that that you chase the woman until she catches you. And that's kind of the crux we're talking about. And the more attention you give women, the more they push away. Now, there's a fine balance, of course, because women want validation, they want attention. And when they look at you, they can't stop from looking at a person who is a potentially sexual partner. I don't care if they're married. I don't care what age they are. You're going to run into this because they sense this biologically. They sense you have that power to be that man. And there's not a lot of people out there, not a lot of men out there anymore that can do this. And I don't care what age you're in. You could be someone like myself at 61, almost hitting 62 in another month. You could be somebody at 30, 40, 50 years old, 20 years old. You can get somebody who has this type of ability and power, and women will strive to it. I don't care what age they are. They may be 20, they may be 30, 40, whatever it might be. They sense it. Biologically, they cannot resist being nice to you, being submissive to you, understanding what you have. This is why it's so important to hold on to this, because they will stare at you, and staring is one of the most effective things women do. Now, what they're doing is two things. One, they're contacting you, telling you they're interested. Two, they're focusing on greeting you. They want to see this energy. Now, they may be like a deer in headlights, and they can't control it, but subconsciously, they've been built and they've been taught this about males, that they're looking for somebody who has this seed. Now, they can't tell you this sometimes. Sometimes it's very at the unconscious level, even subconscious level, but they sense it, and they're drawn like a magnet, and they can't help it, no matter who they are. Yes, eventually maybe their logic kicks in, and maybe they don't make any kind of move or things like that. But they'll touch you, they'll play with their hair, all kinds of nervous behaviors. I saw it again today. Nervous behaviors, giggling, all kinds of stuff. Because it's overwhelming, because they don't see it 90% of the day. They see a man who has control of themselves, who is retaining. All of a sudden, that person becomes such a high-value male. On top of that, that male is autonomous. They're doing their own thing. They got goals. They're working on their bodies. They're working on their finances. They're working on all the hobbies, things they have. They are not paying attention to women. And that becomes even more attractive, because now women see that, well, my life, you're not building your life around me. And it becomes a huge challenge for women. So now on top of that, they're finding a person who has self-control, not going to the resistance, not going to the attraction of that female. And that eye contact is one of those things, along with the hair, that women focus on to try to get you seductively in. And this is the kind of stuff, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, I'm just saying this is part of what women do. They will look at you, and in some ways, guys, it's very exciting. When you're looking at a woman's eyes, it becomes exciting, because you sense it, and they sense you. The trouble is, again, you have to think above this. You have to think to yourself, okay, this is nice, this is flattering, it's a nice type of thing, especially in like my case. If you're married and all kinds of stuff, all of a sudden you say, okay, it's nice and flattering, but that's as far as it goes. Obviously, if you're looking for the one person, that's a whole different type matter, and you can pursue that if you choose to. But the question again is, you're not going to avoid that. We talked about that with the creepers and types of things in the last video. You're not going to be able to avoid that. Women will be, once you've dedicated yourself to this lifestyle, you're going to have women all over you. The question you have is, you're going to have to kind of keep on your goals. Do not let women get you off your goals. It's tempting. Women are very powerful. They have their own power, along with us men. They have their power. I mean, you can see it through the ages, whether it's Cleopatra, anybody you want to look at history. Powerful women, when it comes to using all of these forces and energy they have, they are very powerful. So you never underestimate that. You have to understand that women want to have children. They want to procreate. They want to go ahead and move ahead to generations. That's part of their role. So the thing is, you have to kind of decide, okay, am I going to go with this? Is this part of my goals? Now, if you find somebody who is going to work with your goals and meet with your goals and things like that, that's a great thing, because that person will help you. If, on the other hand, there's a lot of just, looking good, but just a lot of fluff, and there's not to it, and it's not helping your goals, it becomes a distraction. And so this is why when women sit there and stare at you, they're targeting you, and you can see it a mile away. You can't avoid it. When women look at you, and I've seen this happen, 20 times over the last week, women are just staring at you, And it's almost like they're burning a hole through you. And when they have that continual stare and they can't break away, that means they're physically attracted to you, in my opinion. They're physically attracted to you, and they want you to know that. Once again, the issue is that you have to be the one to control yourself and say, okay, I see that. It's flattering. You could say hi and acknowledge that person, but it's time to kind of move on, because you are set in your mind as women not being the top goal. The top goal is to get your goals finished. I don't care if it's your body. I don't care if it's focusing on finances. It doesn't matter. Your goal is to continue to get better and better every day. I don't care if you're 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 60 years old. Every day is a new day. We talk about this. To a great warrior. And that means every day you're going to get better and better. And so women are going to stare at you, and they stare at you because they can't help it. There is a man that they see that is a true man. He has his energy. He's not shooting it off all over the place. He's not wasting it. He's using it to accomplish things. And that man becomes high value. And because of that, it's a challenge for them. And what makes it even more a challenge is if you are using that ability to transmute and get that away to other things, then you have so many things in your mind that appears like you're ignoring the woman. Well, that's the way they may look at it, and that makes you even more attractive. So now you have all this stuff that works together to make you a high-value male, and you've done nothing except retain, which is a tough thing to do, yes, but you've also learned how to do other things. So your mind is not focusing on these women. The mind is focusing on goals, achievement, and doing the best you can to become the best person you can become under God's purpose. And when you do that, you're going to have women staring at you. So all these questions you guys are asking are good questions. But remember, if you're looking for one person, you can gain a lot out of women's behaviors. They were staring at you, they were fiddling around. Those are all indications, because a lot of women are not going to be that assertive and aggressive to come right after you. It's going to be a subtle type of thing for some cases, and some females are going to do that. And so you're going to have to kind of just look at that and say, okay, I think this person's interested. Then all of a sudden you can start that kind of conversation if that's what you want to do. But remember again, you're looking at the whole idea of becoming that person you want to become. So even if you're in a relationship with somebody and you start working with that person, again, getting on your goals, doing your own thing, makes you a highly attractive male. Now, why do men not do this? Why are we talking about the simps? And I call people simps. The only reason I call people simps is because their behavior is simping. Not that they're a bad person. They're a simping behavior. What I mean by that is this. Because, for instance, we'll say a woman doesn't text you back, right? You text them, and all of a sudden what kicks in, and this especially kicks in when you have when you're releasing and you're at low points and you're kind of weak, all of a sudden you start getting desperate. You start thinking, oh my God, I've lost this person. The person's not going to respond back to me, all those things. And I will tell you, warriors, that happened to me many times over the years. When I had low confidence, I was releasing, all of a sudden I felt it. I know what that is. But what you got to do is continue on your goals. Forget about it. Do not respond back. Forget about it, because eventually that person's going to start thinking themselves, wow, what happened here? I thought they're going to respond back or apologize or wonder what's wrong, and they didn't. And so what you got to do is you got to focus. Now, yeah, some people can say, well, that's playing games. That's not playing games. Playing games is trying to manipulate the person on purpose. What you're doing is focusing on yourself. And if people look at it that way, well, so be it. But you're going to focus on yourself the whole time. You're not changing. You're in a relationship, you're in a marriage, doesn't matter. You're focusing on becoming the best person you can become. I don't care if it's the best husband. I don't care if it's the best boyfriend. I don't care if it's the best business person, entrepreneur, whatever it might be. You're becoming the best person you can become. And because of that, you're focusing on trying to do those things to make yourself better. And part of that is a matter of self-control. You're not going to blow up and get upset at the least thing. You're going to take things calmly. You're going to keep disciplined, work out, continue to get better and better. And as time goes on, then you earn the respect of people around you, and respect is the number one thing when it comes to relationships with people. If people respect you, they're going to treat you a lot differently than if they don't. And coming off desperately, or a simpish time behaviors, those type of things will get you disrespect, and you can't allow that to happen. If you see that happening, then it's time for you to make some moves and establishing your own type of thing again, so that you become a stronger person. All right, my friends. Well, I hope you got something out of this one. Thank you again, Bob from South Africa. I was going to use your other name, but I'm going to mispronounce it, so I'm not going to try it. I just said Bob from South Africa. And MaRaMaRaStar, thank you guys very much, along with everybody else we talked about. I appreciate your comments, and we'll do one tomorrow. I think I'll try to do one on staying away from watching TV. All night. HVD4 said something about that, so we'll probably talk about that one tomorrow. And I'm still kind of working on whirling dervishes and also solar cultivation. We're going to look at that as well. All right, my friends, I know this is long, but I wanted to kind of get this one out. You guys have a great rest of your evening. I'll probably post this in the morning, so I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Continue this June 1st. Continue to work at getting better each day. And always remember two things that I always say. First of all, every day is a new day to a great warrior. And number two, guys, I made the call battle on, and the battle on will continue, because what you really need to do every day is to battle